Welcome to The Room of Requirement, your podcast about Harry Potter. Make yourself comfortable and feel at home.
Or rather, in the room. Guys, for context, I had a short line at the start and was already nervous, worried about messing up. But we're very happy with Sala Precisa, our podcast.
A brand new little project fresh out of the oven here for you all. Yeah, Diego and I have been at this for a long time, a long journey on the internet talking about Harry Potter, right, Diego?
Absolutely, many years just with the YouTube channels. For those who are listening to us, I think it's good. It's better if we introduce ourselves. And for those who already know us, who are already here, coming from Kako's channel, we're going to talk about the Harry Potter series. We're going to talk about the news, everything you can imagine. This is a space for that, but let's introduce ourselves. I think that's good. Shall we?
Let's go.
Let's go. So let's go.
I'm Kako Kardasi from the channel Leaky Cauldron. I've been creating content about Harry Potter for years, just on YouTube. It's been 10 years. And I'm really happy to be here to start this project together with Diego. We're not just colleagues, but we also have a really cool friendship, right, Diego? Full of ups and downs, but that's how it is, right? That's friendship.
Absolutely. We've been together like this for a long time. I'm Diego from Observatorio Potter. How's everyone doing? And you've known Kako for quite a while. Since way back when we used to make videos with Leo and Rini.
We miss them, those rascals.
A hug, Rennie, from Indonesia. We're very happy with this project, everyone. It's something that from the very beginning when we started thinking about having a Harry Potter podcast here in Brazil, especially in this era, this new beginning, this new decade of Harry Potter that's coming with the home box office Max series. So it's a lot of joy. I'm really happy to be sharing this moment with you all. I hope you enjoy it. Like we said, make yourselves at home. Here you'll find everything you need, guys, just to...
That's right, yeah. And the idea is to have this relaxed conversation about everything that's going on, a general overview of things that are happening, more specific topics too, right, Diego? And we have some really cool debate ideas to bring here. And I'm sure you guys are really going to enjoy this project, which is being made and thought out with a lot of care.
No. And look, guys, we're starting this podcast at the best time ever, believe me. There's a lot of Harry Potter stuff coming out. The next 10 years are going to be packed. And you, who are kind of lost in all this, the role of this channel is exactly to update you on the news. But more than that, to talk and chat from fan to fan here. We'll discuss what we liked, disliked, and our concerns and fears. Because it's a project,
that touches the fans' heart.
It touches the heart.
Our expectations and everything. And for those who are lost, what do you mean? Next 10 years, Diego, what's happening? What's going to happen?
Let's put this in context. To go back, we need to talk about April 2023 when the series was announced.
Exactly, a series.
What was your first reaction?
My first reaction was...
No, but look, honesty.
Honesty.
Honesty? Honesty.
I was watching the event over there.
What was the first? When they said that we're going to remake Harry Potter? What did you think?
When the old lady showed up, I said, that's a Harry Potter thing. Then the guy said it was a series. And I was like, a Harry Potter series? What do you mean? Are they remaking Harry Potter? And then at first I was like, what's going on? Then when they said, hey, it's going to be one season for each book. At that moment, I already had that little complaint that comes out of the theater like, I can't believe they cut that part. I said, wow, they'll have time to do it, so it'll be really cool. That was the expectation.
I remember that a week before, I recorded a video on YouTube that was about a Harry Potter reboot. They're just messing around. Why? Let me explain. I thought they were going to remake
the movies, me too.
As movies in a cinema format, right? That scared me. I think that was my immediate reaction. We, or at least I, spent the last few years criticizing a lot of things that the movies did.
Yes.
I think we love the movies. We have a lot of affection and appreciation for the movies. But it's undeniable that the movies left a lot out.
Yes, of course.
It was something that you read the book and watched the movies. You like the movies and you think, what if they had included everything that's in the books?
Yeah, especially because, right, just to be clear, the movies are adaptations.
Yes.
The name says it all. It will adapt, but there are limitations and time constraints. There are things that, of course, there are some choices, a choice here, another there that could be different. There are, but then we even understood what's in the director's mind, the person who chose to do it and everything, you know. I did the same thing because there was a rumor going around, right? The rumor about the Harry Potter reboot had been going around for a while.
Even more so when Fantastic Beasts didn't work out.
Exactly.
And so we already had that expectation. Okay, Fantastic Beasts didn't work out. We had the trilogy. Fantastic Beasts, it was originally meant to be 5 movies. So where do we go from here? The last Fantastic Beasts movie flopped at the box office. I'm a Harry Potter fan, but enjoy seeing a new Dumbledore. I also love Newt Scamander and think he's amazing. And speaking professionally, Fantastic Beasts was a good phase for both of us. You can't just deny that, you know? We were able to make the most of this franchise, but it divided the fans.
Yes, it did divide them. And just going back a bit, the whole reboot thing, right? I also had... Yeah, there were already rumors about a reboot going around and all, and then I said, yeah, man, I did the same thing too. I made a video. Harry Potter reboot? No, I thought it was about the movies.
Uh-huh.
Right? I thought it was about the movies. I said, like, rebooting the movies, like, making the movies again didn't make sense to me.
No.
The series makes sense to me. Like, you know, bringing and making, spending hours and hours more content to be able to show what's in the books. I really think it makes sense, and it's going to be cool. And a new perspective on the books, right? With a proposal to be faithful, to stay true to the story, and expand it beyond what the books themselves offer, right?
I saw a fan say something really cool. It seems like Harry Potter was always meant to be a television series, not a movie. Because of the time you have. The books, it's like this. The first ones are shorter. I think the movies did an excellent job with the first one, especially Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets. They left very little out. However, there are some cool things that we want to see in the series. This announcement was made in April 2023. Yeah, it really shook things up. I remember they dropped a short teaser with the soundtrack J to hit people emotionally.
The logo is the same and already caught people's attention.
That announcement was made in a very early embryonic way. In April 2023, they had little to announce and simply said, look guys, there's going to be a series. And for those of us who see this, who follow it day by day, I felt something from the fans, you know, which of course is fear. I think the first thing that comes up, what people feel, is the fear of ruining something that was really good for them. We grew up with Harry Potter, so there's this thing like, are they going to ruin my fond memories?
Yeah, that's really the trap of nostalgia, right? You get attached to it, and man, they're going to mess with it. They're going to ruin it. They're going to, I don't know, do it differently. But the idea is that this new era of magic, this new phase of Harry Potter, it grabs the fans who already, just like us, folks from the city who grew up following it, but also a whole new generation of fans.
That the idea from the beginning is to reach, they're even in the press release that came out about the series. We're going to present the story to a new generation.
Exactly. And it's important for us to see that even people who are from our generation, or even, a generation a little bit ahead, like, who didn't follow these things, didn't follow book releases, didn't follow movie releases, to see their excitement. It's really cool. I've seen so many comments on Caldero's videos, people saying, man, I'm so happy, I'm emotional that I'm going to experience this, that I'm going to live through this phase. I was too young to experience it with the movies, so it's great to see that now. I think there's nothing cooler than a fan's love. Because it touches us, because we're fans too, so we relate to it. We know what we're feeling, we know how important it is, and it's like every fan feels it in their own way. It's going to be important in a different way for each person, you know? You'll always have your memories with Harry Potter.
Don't even mention it, well.
I'll always remember Harry Potter. None of that will be erased. And we have this chance to live this new phase, so that really excites me, you know?
Yeah, we were lucky to grow up at a time when the movies and the books were being released at the same time. Yeah, like, I remember that Order of the Phoenix premiered in 2007 in July. And I think a week later, the book would be released on July 21st, something like that. So much so that people got really mad when they used the Avada Kedavra on Sirius. And everyone thought he was going to come back in the last book.
Everyone.
Wow. Just so you know, we've been through many phases. After the final movie came out in 2011, there was silence until Pottermore arrived.
Do you remember when they decided to split the last movie into two parts?
After that, almost all the franchises followed the idea. It became a trend, not exactly copying, but similar. They didn't copy, it just wasn't that way. But I recall that I remember Twilight and others had part 1 and part 2 like Divergent. Several series did that.
Yeah, I remember when that split happened. The feeling was like, man, I can't believe I have to wait. One's going to come out, then the other will come out after. And they filmed everything at the same time. And it was really a marketing strategy decision, you know? Like splitting them up, you know, let's film everything at once, split them into two, and we end up with two movies.
They were really close. That's great, right? One released in November, the other in July.
Exactly. It was.
If it were today, it'd take 3 years to release. Just kidding, but
But you mentioned Order of the Phoenix, right? About the movie release in 2007 and the book there in July, right? I remember Goblet of Fire and Half-Blood Prince a lot. Goblet of Fire, November 2025. Like, the movie and book were released the same day. So, like, at the same time as the premiere was happening, later there was the unboxing of Half-Blood Prince. That was totally crazy, man.
we grew up following the movies and books. It was that time. I said, man, that's why this series really warms my heart, because never in my life did I genuinely didn't think I would get the chance to see Harry Potter being adapted again. So we're getting the chance twice in our lives to see our favorite book series being adapted.
Man, and it's cool to think, did you ever imagine that when you were, because as a kid, I never thought we'd be discussing a Harry Potter setting today. Tigo was wearing a little t-shirt, me too. Today you walk into any store and you find it.
That's right.
There's Harry Potter everywhere. But when we were younger, right? We're talking here about two guys in their 30s. I'm 34 and
You're the same age as me, man.
Tigo is 35.
I'm like that guy from TikTok. I'm 17.
So, I grew up when, if I wanted anything Harry Potter related, I had to make it myself. I used to grab a stick to play with as a wand and pretend I was, you know?
No, since you brought it up, I have to say, you used to buy magazines just to see the first movie photos.
My friend, I have a folder with newspaper clippings at home.
I remember that I'll discuss that later. I remember getting a magazine in 2004 to see the first Prisoner of Azkaban photos. Draco looked so different with his hair pushed forward. I thought they changed his actor and felt really sad.
With Dumbledore, they changed him, but nobody noticed, right?
No, but come on, that's exactly what this series is about, guys. It's the chance to experience everything all over again. And now we've changed, we've grown up.
Exactly.
And the series will try to reach, of course, as a tribute to the older fans.
Uh-huh.
But we must remember it aims to reach a new audience and generation.
Exactly. And it's also very important to know that, guys, when it comes to feeling, Calderon is kind of messing up here. The potion is like, it's the fart potion we're making here to give to our competitors. That's messed up. That important feeling that we always bring to the nostalgic side, right? When something happens in any area of our lives, we're obviously going to talk about Harry Potter here because that's the topic, right? But I think that with anything, we'll always remember it with a warm feeling in our hearts. And that feeling, sometimes it can trick us.
Good.
Because for us, it will never be as good as the first time. But not because it's not good, but because we lived through a phase in a way that we won't experience again. Because back then we were one person and today we're someone else with different experiences and different lessons learned. And that affects the feelings we have, you know? So it's important for you. I sincerely ask you to welcome this series with an open heart. I'm not saying you have to love it, that you have to praise everything, of course. You can have things you won't like, just like we do, but keep an open heart. I think that's more important. I think my message to the fans today is to keep an open heart, you know? See and understand it as a new proposal. Because the movies won't be erased. The books won't be destroyed. All previous work remains. So I think it's a new chance to see everything with a fresh perspective.
A sentence unnoticed. Let's talk now. Very soon, in a bit, about the news, the first news that came out. But just to wrap up this point here, I think it's nice to mention a phrase that Home Box Office itself released on the day the series was announced, which goes like this. Yeah, the movies will remain as the center of the franchise.
Yes.
They will remain loved and celebrated. They say this because they know the shared universe isn't a competition between movies and series. Are we comparing because it's newer? Yes.
But we're going to compare in a way.
But compare it with the book too. I think it's much more important for you to compare. It's just that the visuals from the movie will always be in our heads.
It's going to be compared. But I don't think the comparison is a problem. The way the comparison is made can be a problem.
That's right.
You make negative comparisons. Like you take, a child actor. We're talking about a cast there that is, for the most part, kids who are 10, 11 years old. And then you take...
It's the kid's first project and job.
And then you take that and compare it to something you grew up watching, something that has emotional importance for you. It's not fair. It's not fair because how can you say that? I've seen comments like that, Oh, I prefer Emma Watson 1,000 times over. How can you say you prefer Emma Watson 1,000 times over? How is that fair? If you haven't seen Arabella acting, you haven't seen Arabella as Hermione, you haven't watched the series, and you have this whole attachment to the movie, you have an entire perception based on the film. Is that fair? You're pitting Emma Watson and Arabella against each other. Do you understand?
And those who read the books, who are passionate about the books, no matter how controversial this is, know that from Prisoner, there in Goblet, Hermione's characterization already...
It changes.
From Emma herself. We adore Emma, but we know that a lot of the trio's personality from the books isn't in the movies.
No, it's not.
So, we have the emotional memory. But we understand that Rupert, Emma, and Daniel also had their moments when, in my view, they weren't Harry, they weren't Ron, they weren't Hermione, and that's okay.
Yeah, of course. We can analyze it, we can separate it, right? Analyzing the acting, and I think that comes more with maturity, right? From you, because it's really hard for you to separate your fan heart from that more analytical side, But I still think it's unfair to compare and say it's 1,000 times better. Of course, making a comparison just for entertainment, like, oh, look how cool, see the difference here. Man, I prefer the movie. I prefer the series. It's a different story, right?
That's it, come on. Whether we like it or not, it's happening. The focus is on current and new fans discovering it. There are people who won't read the books, who will get all the plot twists for the first time. Although Harry Potter is well known, and many know the story, many will still experience it for the first time. Parents often introduce it to their children, and that will continue. Now it's really cool for us to see all the news that has come out so far, the official ones, and chat about them. Because the series was announced in April 2023, but only in June 2024. Nearly a year later, due to both the writers' and actors' strikes. The showrunner, Francesca Gardiner, was only announced in June 2024.
Francesca Gardiner.
Also of the director Mark Mylod, who is an amazing director.
Yeah, we had that.
She's also an excellent professional who won the Emmy for Succession from Home Box Office itself. Mark Mylod also directed the episode of Succession, so they already got someone who was at home.
The whole crew is award-winning.
And very award-winning. Every series announcement highlights award-winning people.
They're award-winning people.
You can already see the care and attention. That's why sometimes people just follow the news, but those who are keeping up with every single story like we are know that they're bringing in very qualified people.
Yes, they're putting together a very strong lineup, building a very strong team. And there was even that, let's call it the competition of the finalist screenwriters there.
Wow, that happened.
Do you remember that?
That really happened.
From the people who presented the script there.
They call it a pitch, right? It's basically like this. Home Box Office. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's how it is.
That's wrong. Just kidding.
They pay a team of writers to send in their ideas, which is called a pitch, and then they choose their favorite one, right?
Francesca apparently joined only at the end, since I recall many names being mentioned, but not hers.
When her name came up, it was already decided she'd be the writer, screenwriter, and showrunner. The showrunner is the key role in a television series.
What does a showrunner do, Diego?
A showrunner handles the daily operations of the series. For example, daily production and keeping everything organized. And every series from the beginning, from the very start, when it's established, it needs to have an identity. The showrunner and director, Mark Mylod and Francesca Gardiner, need a clear vision and identity for the series. I don't know if they only did it for the first season or if they've already done it in general, but I think...
Total planning, right?
Yeah, but I think at that moment, some very important decisions were made about Then in December, there was an announcement about the first season's length. We'll discuss that soon. But they announced the showrunner, the director. In December, we were at Comic-Con Experience, and then they made a second round of announcements.
And so the important thing about this, like you said, oh, they made important decisions, and very important ones. Because if they're going to follow a narrative line, both visually and in terms of the story itself, some things are established. They need to be established right in the first season.
Wow, totally.
So it's an important decision. Like every decision they're going to make is key to continuing the story.
We'll discuss the casting soon, but you can already tell what they're doing by the actors chosen, right? They're introducing characters like Lucio Malfoy, who were supposed to appear in later seasons, in the first one already. We'll discuss this in more detail later. But it shows that they're already thinking from the start about introducing characters so that when they show up in the next seasons, even the fan of the Minister of Magic. And then in December, we had several other cool announcements.
Yeah, in December it happened. At first they were just rumors, right?
That's right.
There were confirmations and some adult cast members were involved.
That started...
You mean the main adult cast, Dumbledore, Minerva, Snape, right?
The casting rumors started, right? And we also had the first... Basically, Francesca Gardner and Mark Mylod gave the first official statements about the series. They said, for example, we'd see Peeves causing trouble in Hogwarts corridors. They confirmed a character not in the movies.
Completely cut.
In other words, this first announcement already shows the people, the fans that were really...
Yes.
Include things that the movies didn't include.
Yes.
Mark Mylod said the first season would introduce a teacher's lounge.
They didn't want to change Hogwarts they didn't want to change the essence of Hogwarts too much, but they wanted to show things that had never been seen before.
Ever wondered what teachers do in staff rooms? The gossip? Picture Snape walking in saying, whoa, that kid is so annoying. You know, it's great we get a new perspective, which the series will give us.
I think that's really cool because it brings a realistic feeling to the universe. Like, okay, this exists. It gives you a feeling that it exists. It's not something that just...
Life at Hogwarts goes on daily, and it's not only seen through Harry's perspective.
Exactly. That's really cool.
Man, and another thing, they also said that they want and have thought from the beginning. That's why they hired Adriano Goldman, the Brazilian director of photography from The Crown.
A Brazilian, that's right.
An extremely talented guy, winner of very important awards as well. They said from the start they wanted a realistic vision of Hogwarts. What does that mean?
More down to earth?
Man, down to earth. And another thing, they even gave an example, which was to use the word naturalist, which was basically like this. Imagine that the wall has a plant, kind of like Hogwarts Legacy, more or less something like that, like Hogwarts Legacy. There's something that separates, man, this place exists, this place exists.
Yes.
And they said they won't use it that much. They'll use, obviously, computer-generated imagery, but not that much.
You need it, right? But that's something they already... and it's really cool to see the respect they're having. Also, with the legacy of the movies, bringing a school there from the movies, which is the use of practical effects. We see this happening a lot nowadays. It's being used less and less frequently in productions. There's a lot of green screen, but that's not a criticism. But practical effects bring a much greater sense of reality, you know? They bring a reality.
It's cool they use magic and wands, even showing how to create a wand effect with practical effects.
Exactly. No, there are, like, what movies, for example, do with practical effects is insane. It's surreal. Even the Marauders map, opening or closing, is a practical effect. You know, that scene with the letters, the explosion of letters, they built mechanisms to make it happen, you know? I think that's amazing, and it brings that sense of reality. And they said in the series that the priority is to do things like that. It's about giving that sense of realism, which, you know, with computer-generated imagery sometimes ends up falling short.
Fans are really going to scrutinize this series too, you know. Damn, the movies were made with a lot of care.
Exactly.
There's a lot of love involved.
At a time when technology is already outdated.
The guys put a lot of love into it, so the series will face pressure. Mark Mylod and Francesca also said something great. That the characters this time would be the same age as they are in the book. Guys, Harry Potter's father in Philosopher's Stone, he should be 21, right? But in the movies, he looked twice that age.
21 years, contributed to the National Institute of Social Security.
So it's very important for her to say that the characters will have the age they have in the books. Because Harry Potter's parents were there when they were 18 to 20 years old. They were in the middle of a first Wizarding War. It's something that they had Harry right there in the middle of a war. All the care that was happening. They were so young.
Young.
In Order of the Phoenix, Sirius Black says, "You are the young ones now." And it's like, wow. They did all that when they were very young. And in the movies, it seems like the guys were all much older.
The whole cast, right? I think the one who's most accurate in age is Dumbledore, who's about 100 years old.
The actors are close to that.
Because, man,
Snape would be 34 during the events. Wait, 31? Born in 60, so in 90? 31 years old during the events of Philosopher's Stone. You see, Alan Rickman. Man, Alan Rickman is awesome.
I can't handle that scene.
Which scene?
I can't handle that scene they made up for the movie where he picks up Lillian in his arms crying. Like, technically, they're young there.
No, he'd be 21.
Yeah, 21 years old, but Snape looks 50, right?
No, right? That's way too complicated. It's like,
It's that thing. The fan doesn't criticize that. Why doesn't he criticize it? Because of attachment.
man, and also because the cast is really awesome. So, like, it's okay. It's all right. I think it's over. People used to look older. Did you see that show with Silvio Santos?
How old are you, 19? No way that guy even has a grandson.
The guy has a big mustache, some hair, but no way you're 20. Yeah, that's it, I think. That's over. But I think it's important to know the characters' ages. It shows another detail that they're going to go with that. That was in December, and people were already speculating about the actors, right?
And it was something that, as the actors were being announced, people got a bit surprised, like they're really young.
Yeah, that's right.
People got used to the movie when it was released, you know. Man, the Dursleys, they're in their 30s too, you know, like 30s, 40s.
In the series' first scene, he's supposed to be about 20 since it's set 10 years before Harry.
Exactly, when he's going to work.
The 80s.
The 80s. Yeah, he's about, let's not say 20, but almost 30.
Yeah. When the cast was announced, people kept saying they're too young. But guys, that's just the movie. I did.
It's following, yeah.
It's following. And then we had the rumors started, right? We had the rumor about before it was confirmed, right? They confirmed it in April 2025. That's right. The actors, the first 6 actors. But then came the rumor about Papa Eziedu as Severus Snape, which also caused a lot of, right?
Wow, but it really did.
But John Lithgow also caused a stir because the actor,
Very old.
honestly, I thought it was messed up.
Very old, can't do it.
I thought it was morbid. People said, will he make it to the end? Come on, take it easy. Man, and he's American too, right? But John Lithgow, he did The Crown, right? From Netflix, he played Winston Churchill, which
He did it perfectly.
he won. I'm not sure if it was the Golden Globe or the Emmy, but he won an award for that, and it'll show up. Janet McTeer came as Minerva McGonagall, and there was speculation about Roy Kent's actor being Rubio Haggard. It was a speculative time, remember?
Yes, it is.
Then, after Nick Frost was confirmed as Hagrid,
And I think for sure, right? There's no point in us not talking about Papa Eziedu as Severus Snape.
which is what generated the most.
It generated a lot of controversy, especially from people who got upset because it won't follow the book's characteristics, right?
And they're even angrier because, in theory, this changes the character's narrative within the series, right?
Yeah, so which is something I disagree with. I get why some people disliked it because it changed.
Yes.
I even preferred it to be faithful. I wanted it that way too. If we're supposed to follow, let's do it right, but it's not happening. What will I do now? Will I hate Harry Potter or dislike the series? Was it ruined for me or will I stop watching? No, none of that. But yeah.
I worry about the actor if everyone is like the character from the book. I worry.
He's not exactly. That's the point.
It seems like the guy was kind of thrown to the lions, you know?
Man, yeah, that's the feeling. I think that
Then that's already happening. People say, wow, everything is except for Snape, you know?
what we see in the comments is like it's perfect except for Snape.
So, and
Like I get why there's this attachment, you know, like wanting the character to look similar and all. But I also think people end up going overboard. They end up exaggerating a lot.
yeah.
And just to remind you, okay, I'm not talking about opinions. I'm talking about things that go beyond, that cross the line. you know? And another thing, oh, it's going to change the character's story. We don't know. We haven't watched it yet.
Exactly. And Papa Esiedu, like, I know that everyone who comments doesn't doubt the actor's ability because he's really good. But Papa Esiedu, he performed the play Hamlet over in London and he played Hamlet, right? And he was nominated. He won all sorts of awards. And you watch videos on YouTube and the guy is really good and you can see that he's going to be a much more passionate Snape. Riva himself, that guy who loses control and doesn't curse, but
He mistreats the kids, right? The way he does.
Alan Rickman, he had that more sophisticated air.
Restrained.
Restrained.
Right? Which was something that, like,
It worked a lot.
it was cold, matching the personality.
His too, which is great.
Big voice, right, man? Big voice. Alan Rickman was awesome.
And there was all this buzz about Snape. But I think with the announcements, now that they've come out, with everything that's been coming out, people have been letting it go. They've been understanding that, okay, it changed, you know?
Yeah, and like, man,
And there will be other changes.
wasn't the idea to be faithful. Man, the idea is to be faithful. It's being faithful to the story. A character, it's already different from the character in the book. I said that as soon as the news came out. Wow, nakama.
It's supposed to be 96% of 29 announced. Only one is different. It's about 97 or 98.
So when this came out, this confirmation, right? I made a video that, by the way, is a video where a lot of people cursed me out a lot, really went after me. And honestly, I don't really care because, man, we're on the internet. If we can't give our opinion about...
People swear online. That really happens.
I swear to you. It's new, right? Anyway, several people cursed at me when I said, look, guys, from my perspective, Snape's color in the books isn't relevant to his story. That's the feeling I get when I read the books. I didn't say that. They even tried to say, oh, you said he's not white, but in the book it says white legs. At no point did I say he's not white. In fact, in the video itself, I say he's white. In the series, a black actor will play him.
That's right.
And the character is going to be black.
And it already happened, guys. Like,
And that's it.
so, guys, some people won't like it. Other people will say, oh, I'll wait for Papa's performance. And others will say, look, I already have the movies. So
Yes, exactly.
when the series was announced, I was already expecting changes and additions.
Just like the movies did.
Yeah, that there would be changes, and that's okay. I was open-minded. But I'm not going to say that those who aren't open-minded are wrong, because it takes time. I think everyone has their own time to process things. But I think with all the announcements that are coming, the charisma of the announced trio, we'll talk about them in a moment, all of this makes people see that it really is. I'm just going to enjoy it, you know?
And look, man, something I also said in one of the episodes was, man, if everything you're following about the series isn't pleasing you, maybe it's not for you. And that's okay, you know? It's all right. Maybe it's just not for you, man. Maybe it's something like, oh, I'd rather stick with the movies. That's fine.
That's what I said. Everyone processes information at their own pace.
Exactly.
Some people handle things easily. I think I did too, since I expected it. It's fine. Changes are coming.
Man, for me, anything related to Harry Potter pleases me. Anything related to Harry Potter pleases me. The play The Cursed Child, when it came out, you know, they released the script and there was all that controversy. I still have points that I think are really messed up.
Man, it's really bad, yeah.
But then I had the chance to watch the play, and man, what those guys do on stage is just insane. It's surreal, you know?
It's the most awarded series in Olivier Awards history. The United Kingdom's top theater prize.
Exactly, man.
It's the most awarded with many nominations, and it won.
You've seen it too, right? I saw it 3 times. The guys vanish on stage.
It's surreal, like,
We're not talking about computer effects.
it's practical. It's all practical.
The guys vanish on stage.
Especially because you can't use computer effects in the theater.
Exactly. The guys actually dive into real water. They open a
Polyjuice potion.
polyjuice potion. They transform one, casting spells, floating.
Harry hanging upside down. There are several other scenes that we won't. I'm not going to. So I don't give too many spoilers here, but if you've already seen it, comment what you thought about the play too. But the play is really cool. And also, guys, keep commenting on our points. I think it's important for you to give your opinions because this is a conversation.
Exactly.
We may agree or disagree, and that's fine. Our main goal is to discuss everything that's coming out.
My friend, as long as you're respectful, you can say anything you want in these comments, right?
Exactly. You can agree or disagree. We'll be here maybe for hours, weekly or bi-weekly. We didn't mention that at the start, did we? It's the first at the Leaky Cauldron.
That's true, right?
We'll take turns. Look for this podcast. It will release weekly, first on the Leaky Cauldron, then on the Observatory. And we'll number them so you don't miss any. Later, you can start listening in order from anywhere you like, on Spotify, other platforms, and more. Yeah, right? On the computer.
So now you guys know that 1 week it's on Calderon, 1 week it's on Observatorio Potter, and that's how we keep going. And Tiagão, then came the cast confirmations, right?
And the first official cast confirmation coming from Home Box Office itself, right, when they were making the announcements. This announcement was the confirmation of what we had already speculated, the rumors, right? And also Paul Whitehouse, who will play Argus Filch, and Luke Thallon, who will play Quirrell, who is also a theater actor. And Paul Whitehouse played Sir...
He returns, right?
Yeah. Sir Cadogan wasn't in the final Prisoner of Azkaban, but he appears in a deleted scene.
Sir Cadogan.
Sir Cadogan appears in the deleted scenes and now returns with Argus Filch.
Yeah, he had a very small role in the movies.
This actor is very well liked, you know? They say he's very well liked. Paul Whitehouse over in the United Kingdom, they say he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, so, and he does seem to be really friendly, you know? Like, it's going to be cool to see the contrast with Filch's acting since he's a grumpy, cranky guy, right? I saw some clips from his interviews. He's actually really sweet.
He has a British sense of humor, so I'm sure he'll... And they say that besides his humor, he's also really good at drama. If they ever want to focus on Filch's drama in some episodes...
It would be really cool to develop that.
It would be really cool.
It would be really cool to develop, like...
And they will do it, I'm sure.
They will. With more time, I think they'll explore the characters further. That, because of the limitation, we couldn't see, right? And we'll be able to see it. And sometimes in the book, and it's very important for us to think about and understand, in this case, sometimes not everything that's in the book will work visually in audio-visual. So sometimes we have Harry's perspective there, Harry's point of view.
Yes.
And sometimes a different point of view will work in the series, one that isn't Harry's. Do you understand? And that's going to be cool to see.
A scene of Walter talking to Petunia on the couch and Harry in his room, but just showing them talking there, not from our point of view.
From Harry, showing the environment's perspective and events.
Man, there are so many possibilities, infinite possibilities, so people really have to get excited about these possibilities. I think that... And these 6 actors were also the first confirmed actors for the project.
Yes.
We already confirmed they'd film in the summer, right?
Exactly, yeah.
It was confirmed to be July 2025, though initially thought to be between July and August. Man, as the months passed, the project news kept improving, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, yeah, I from that first batch, which was the adult cast, Quirrell, people joked a lot like, wow, Quirrell is handsome, right? Just like that.
No, and it's really weird that the actors from Harry Potter who play the teachers are younger than me, man. And they're the teachers, dude. That doesn't make sense.
You could have applied to play Dumbledore.
If I'm not mistaken, this Luke Lucky, he's 29 years old if I'm not mistaken.
There.
Man.
See, Thigo, you have to understand that we're old. You know, that's not a problem for me.
No, not for me either.
It's okay, you know, we've been young for longer.
We're experienced.
Young for longer, and then right after this cast, right? We arrived, this adult part of the cast came what everyone was definitely most looking forward to, which was the trio.
Yeah, a lot of fear and anticipation. I think Rupert, Emma, and Daniel were just announced at a press conference. There was a lot of anticipation about the announcement. Would it be a video from the actors or just a photo? Would it be a Reels? Would it be a press conference that they're going to do again? But it was a topic.
It was a photo?
It was a photo. It was an announcement like, guys, this is the trio.
Exactly. Meet them.
The private comments. Yes. Right? Private comments. Guys, this is the trio. Meet the trio.
Dominic McLaughlin, Alistair Stout, and Arabella Stanton. So why are they doing it this way? To protect the children. We have to understand that
we live in a different time.
A completely different time, a completely different era. In 2000, when the trio debuted, internet access was very different from today.
That's right.
There weren't even networks like there are today. So they're protecting these kids by announcing it this way in a more restrained manner. And I think they really do need to protect them. Because these kids who act are already very exposed, so they need to be protected. They should keep going this way. When the trio was announced, it really blew up, right? I remember that day. My Instagram crashed.
I've never seen so many notifications in my life.
Yeah, damn.
And people loved it, and that's what's cool. They really loved the choice.
They truly loved it. My Instagram announcement photo of the trio got about 90,000 likes.
It's really surreal.
90,000 people is a lot, and that's not even the official account, which had even more. Like, it was way, way more.
And there would be a lot more if comments were enabled. That helps with engagement.
That sends engagement way up. And man, people bought the trio.
They bought it a lot.
People bought it.
Man, when I saw the first... So I opened the Harry Potter network, Instagram, and there was this photo of the trio. I was like, what's this, man?
Uh-huh.
What a hit. What a hit. The guys, it's like they came straight out of the books. Yes. It's cool that Alistair, right? He doesn't have an acting background. He only did a potato commercial. That's so Ronnie.
Yeah.
And Arabella, there was also, since she's in the audiobook now that it's releasing,
She already has a theater background, right? Arabella already does theater.
she did Matilda. And Dominic just did a movie with Nick Frost, who's going to be Hagrid, called Grow. And he also doesn't have any other acting background. They picked kids, so except for Arabella.
Uh-huh.
They're kids with no other experience.
That's from the trio, right? Of course. When the trio was announced, there were some comments here and there from people who weren't happy because, man, that's normal. It's not going to happen that something is unanimous and 100% of the comments are from people enjoying and approving it. There's a lot about attachment and appeal, right? But I felt that Hermione, here in Brazil, not so much because in Brazil we don't have that much of a difference. But people from abroad were pretty hard on Hermione.
On Hermione.
They were pretty hard on the actress who played Hermione, like saying she looked like in a derogatory way, like saying she looked like a Mexican immigrant, something like that,
There's always someone like that, right? What really upsets me is that it's about a child.
It's about a child. It's disgusting,
If it were, it would already be bad if it were an adult, okay?
No, then people use the excuse like, oh, wow, it's so bad for her, but she's going to make a lot of money, right? Come on, man, seriously. You're talking about a child no matter what.
I have a friend of my girlfriend who said a funny thing, that this trio won the most anticipated public contest in the United Kingdom. Which is like, they're doing really well now, man.
Yeah.
I was curious about how they made their contract. If it's until the end, if it's 4 seasons, if it's 3 seasons.
Do you remember in the movies when there was a rumor that Emma Watson was going to leave in Order of the Phoenix?
And that was real. She said she almost left.
She said she almost... Later, we see behind the scenes, right? She has an interview where she says she almost gave up. My biggest fear was that the main trio would be changed in the movies. I was really worried about that. Maybe they saved that for the series, right?
Honestly, I have no idea how those contracts are made.
If you leave, you must return everything you earned. I don't care.
I don't think that even crosses their minds. I don't know how it's done, but it's something to think about.
And Dominic, sorry to interrupt you. He has it, right? Dominic is already part of an urban legend. With each material, he's a different person.
He looks different. It's unbelievable. If you look at the leaked photo, he has one face. And if you look at the official photo, that's where he looks the most different of all.
He looks even more different. It doesn't even look like him.
It looks like they photoshopped his face.
Stop. Hold on.
But it's really different, man. When you see the actor's official photo, it just doesn't...
Angle. It's the angle.
It's the angle, the lighting, everything. I don't know.
They post the photo in the woods, just like the first one.
The first photo, they like to put
it in the middle of the woods, right?
They put a blue sweater on him, no H. I thought it was cool.
The photo reminds you of the first trio when you look at it.
In terms of... Here's the story. I won't name the child, but Kako and I followed a girl on Instagram and later learned she plays second.
She was runner-up to play Hermione.
It was between her and Arabella, but Arabella was picked. On announcement day, she wished them luck. Her mom posted, "I'm so proud of you, daughter. Last 2. Meaning she made the final 2 and she was really sweet, right?
She is. Me and Diego,
We're not going to expose the child.
We're not going to expose, of course. Yeah, but
We were snooping around because we were after...
No, and we really dug deep. Diego is unbeatable in journalism. He's incredible. He gets...
Then I actually found the girl who was the...
Yeah, he shows up and he finds things just like that. And then we share a lot there because of the thing, not just professionally, but we share as fans too. We share a lot because we get so excited. And then we were just like completely.
Crazy, man. The mom says, dude, who is this guy? No, who is this 35-year-old crazy guy who keeps watching? I rarely post stories and then I'd send a screenshot. Look, Kako, she's in London.
Her in London, yeah, and like, man, she's adorable. She would be a great Hermione too, for sure.
She was great. She was great. So, like, the announcement was great. The announcement was incredible. Right away, you feel a connection with this new trio, and it was really good.
And Arabella, an interesting recent discovery, right? She's not only the Hermione of the series, but also of the audiobook the Audible immersive audiobook that's coming out.
That's right. What does that mean? This audiobook, more than 200 actors will be involved, along with ambient sounds, spell noises, and effects like the cauldron.
Window closing, door slamming.
It's all atmospheric, right?
For people from our time, Sakanajam, like a radio soap opera.
Back in our grandma's time, right?
Radio soap opera.
We've already said so many times on this podcast that we sound old, and now you want to talk to me about radio soap operas, my friend?
But is it a modern radio soap opera?
No, but it's cool because Arabella has already said in interviews that she auditioned for this audiobook before. She must have done really well. There are already videos of her saying Leviosa. I need to talk about this. A video shows her recording the audiobook saying it's Leviosa, but with the E.
Wingardium, the gar is long and pronounced.
People freaked out. They're already changing the iconic phrase. But guys, that's the phrase that's in the book, guys.
So then...
That's why you have to be careful, right? When you're complaining...
Then, Arabella, this happened. I even told Diego we came to this conclusion, which wasn't that brilliant. I think anyone would have thought, like, man, she was chosen from then on. She was in the audiobook, so they decided to put her in the series.
She has Hermione's little teeth and looks just like book Hermione. I'm not sure about the guys doing this audiobook test. Someone from production visited and said, double check that, because there are some great actors.
Let me check something real quick.
This audiobook has a strong cast. Now, a Game of Thrones actor who was a popular fan cast will play Hagrid.
Yeah, who was a fan cast?
Mark Eddy. And we also have Matthew McFadyen, who played Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice and now in the Marvel movie, as Voldemort, Dr. House, and Hugh Laurie as Dumbledore. Man, it's like...
And then when we see it, we're like, oh my God, it would be so cool in the series, right?
No. And they announced everything at once, plus Arabella was there.
It confused everyone.
People said they hadn't announced everything, but then it happened.
No, because then a video came out of her saying, it's Leviosa, not Leviosa, but it was an interview video. She was just saying the line, like in the movie, as a joke. And then the part came out of her reading the section where the O and R are long and pronounced. Some people got confused, but they're separate things. As my grandma used to say, don't confuse a little bit of pasta with a bunch of little monkeys.
Oh, good.
You know, right? That's a lie. My grandma didn't say that.
The guy is making up quotes from his grandma.
It wasn't from one of Raisa's college professors, so I just took it for myself here.
Wow, okay. And man, things kept moving forward. We had more announcements. We had Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, right after that, there was a whole wave, right?
Guess what I looked up? Do you know how old Lux Pratt is? 14 or 13?
Wow.
He's older.
Just like Tom Felton, he was already older.
Tom Felton was 13 in Philosopher's Stone, but looks very young.
Yeah, he was short, right?
No, Lux Pratt also looks really young. And then they announced the Dursleys, and that's what people talked about the most. Wow, but why are they so young? Like Uncle Walter and Aunt Petunia, they're so good looking.
They're so attractive. Like, people forget there's makeup and costumes, right?
Look at that. And this Uncle Walter here, I was like, wow, the guy with the big mustache.
No, but people forget about the makeup and costumes, right, man? Like, when leaked photos of them on set came out from leaked filming, man, they managed to make Petunia look really rough, right?
Man, Belle Powley, who plays Petunia, is a brunette. I honestly didn't expect Petunia to be blonde. It really surprised me.
Yes.
Right? And then photos leaked of them filming the zoo scene, and Petunia is super blonde.
In that group with the actors for the Dursleys, Draco, and others, Senior Weasley was revealed too, right? That's Catherine Parkinson. And then the other kids were announced, which was a nice surprise for me, like Parvati Patil.
Lavender Brown.
Lavender Brown. Was it Dudley? Dudley must have had one. No, Dudley was later.
Yeah, Dudley came later, then came Seamus, or there was someone else in that group too. I'll even check. I'll confirm it here.
It was Parvati Lavender.
Here, Parvati came, Seamus, Lavender, the Dursleys, Fudge, and Lucius Malfoy.
And Lucius Malfoy, and about the kids, just finish so we can get into Lucius Malfoy and Fudge because I want to talk about them. That thing about the kids was cool because these kids are classmates of Harry, Hermione, and Ron, right? They're the first years who arrive at Hogwarts. They don't appear much in the movies, just briefly, with no focus on them, right? And it's something that, even though in the books they also don't have a big spotlight, it's nice to have them there already because it creates a sense of reality. You know, for me, it's really important to create that sense of reality because we end up like this. Man, but Harry entered Hogwarts there, and only he entered. And a bunch of people that we don't even see in the movies later, you know? We just see them as extras in passing. It's nice they're included because in the book, Parvati Patil says Hermione is crying in the bathroom. And that's cool because Parvati and Lavender, they've been really close friends since the beginning, and Hermione is kind of left out by them, you know? So it's already nice to see that.
Man, Lavender.
It's already cool.
Lavender really affected me because, like it or not, she'll be important.
She's going to be important later on, right?
Later on, and Fudge was like, okay, Voldemort's defeated. What was the Minister of Magic doing then?
He doesn't appear in the book.
I don't know in which scene Cornelius Fudge will appear in this first season, but you could take, for example, a scene at the Ministry of Magic itself. Maybe some speech.
I have a hunch.
You know
what I think?
when Gringotts rubs itself, what is the Minister of Magic doing? Doesn't he notice? The movie's touched on this. Man, where's the Minister at that moment?
Yeah, I think the Minister of Magic, they're going to bring Fudge in earlier. Yeah, because they can do that story expansion from the book's story. Man, doesn't Dumbledore get tricked into going to the Ministry of Magic by a fake call while Quirrell acts and Harry saves the stone that night? We could have a scene of Dumbledore arriving at the Ministry, in the Minister's office, and the Minister's like, man, who called you? Did you get it? I didn't call you here. And then Dumbledore's like, he got tricked, you know? So he could also be making some announcement or something because even the actor said he has few lines, right?
Lucio Malfoy will likely only appear with Draco in the Diagon Alley scene.
Yeah, I think so too. Lucy Malfoy,
He shares a key scene with Draco and Harry in Diagon Alley that was left out of the movie.
you know what I think could happen, Thiego? Do you remember that there's a theory, not an outside theory, okay? It's a theory within the story. It's canonical. You know, that the Death Eaters, followers of Voldemort, thought that Harry was a substitute for Voldemort, that he defeated Voldemort, that he would be the next great wizard, that they would gather around him and all that. So, and Lucius tells Draco to get close to Harry, right? So it would be cool if we, in that Diagon Alley scene where Harry meets Draco, right? He kind of like,
Goes along there, right?
you know,
He's going to try on the clothes there. Go with him.
Harry arrives and is already at the store, but I don't know if they'll change that. Or like that when they're leaving, when Hagrid arrives to pick up Harry there at Madame Malkin's.
Lucius can look the guy up and down, right?
Lucius knows who Hagrid is. He can look and all. And Draco even says, right, that Hagrid was a kind of servant who drank and all. Which is something that comes from his father, right? Because he learned it from his father. So maybe we have this moment, Lucius giving a...
That would be cool. I really want to see Nick Frost's performance in this scene, too. He seems like he's going to be he has more of a crying face. I think he'll be a sentimental Hagrid, just like Robbie, who was perfect.
Robbie Coltrane was great as Hagrid.
I'm really excited to see it, and that scene definitely has to be in the series.
Yeah, it has to be there.
Because it's the scene where Harry meets Draco, which is on the staircase in the movies.
That's it. They're already at Hogwarts, right? And there's also the scene on the Express where Scabbers bites Crabbe. Was it Crabbe or Goyle? But Scabbers bites Goyle when they go, right? And then Draco says, right? Oh, so it's true, right, Potter?
Yeah, that scene with Weasley.
Exactly.
It happens on the Hogwarts Express.
Exactly. It'll be cool to see.
I reread a part where they climb the staircase, like in the movie, then wait for Minerva, and while waiting, the Hogwarts ghosts pass by. The Fat Friar discussing Peeves, man. There's the song that the Sorting Hat is going to sing. I hope it's in the series where he sings about the houses, man.
About the founders?
It's all in tune. No, that's cool.
Very cool.
This part is really cool. I'm really looking forward to it. And on July 14th, the official confirmation that filming had started came with a photo of Dominic McLaughlin. Different.
In character, different. Once again, a
Wow, it looked like a different actor, man. He's holding a clapperboard with Adriano Goldman's name, confirming he will be the series director of photography. But they just confirmed it. Look, we started the images. That was July 14th, and within a day or two, Hagrid's first photo was released.
The first photo of it was already released.
They explained it was because filming would be on London streets.
Exactly. That's their tactic.
Okay, now I need to ask you and everyone here. Did you like the first photo of Hagrid when you saw it?
I liked it.
Did you like it?
I liked it. I genuinely liked it.
That photo seemed the strangest to me, at least to my brain. Like, wait, hold on. Let me process that Hagrid isn't Robbie Coltrane.
Oh, so you're saying your reaction in the video was fake?
It was.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
That's not true. I didn't say that. What's happening? I think what made me feel the most strange was, I think it made me feel really, really weird. More than anything else, because it's hard, man. You take an actor, a character who's 8 feet tall, over 10 feet. You see the guy coming out of the trailer, finishing getting ready. He's already posing for a photo, right? I don't know. It's just... But in the photos from the leaks that came out later of Nick Frost filming on the street, I thought the characterization looked much better. People said his hair was too neat. The beard was... Yeah, I noticed that too, but later I think we just get used to it.
Yeah, I think it didn't feel strange to me because that was always really easy for me with Harry Potter. Really, really easy. I just take things as something new, you know? Like, so I was also never attached to actors. That's a fact. I was never attached to actors, never really. I have a fondness for the actors who played the characters in the movies. I think they did an incredible and important job, which will always be there, immortalized. But it was never really a thing for me. Like, wow, an attachment where I couldn't see anyone else playing the character, you know? I never had that, so it was probably easier for me.
It's because they were going to film. I think it was at the end of the week that they already filmed there and they took a segment. There's actually a really short video of Hagrid and Harry entering a subway station. You can't really see them clearly. In that first one that leaked, right?
Yeah,
Then you could see both of them better. They're heading into a subway station, likely to film a scene there, though I'm not sure if it's in the train cars or on the platform. And then the news started to intensify a lot. We had the leaked photos from the zoo.
Yeah, from the zoo scene.
Them filming, which actually, we don't even know if it was really the snake scene. It was a scene in a penguin area that the guys, which is also new. It's not in the movies.
Yeah, before they visit the reptile area, since that's in the book, right? Everything was fine.
Uh-huh.
Harry was having an amazing morning.
Having some ice cream.
Exactly. He got an extra ice cream. Everything was fine until they got to the reptile house.
It's cool to show that.
So it's cool to show. And another really cool thing we noticed in this, Piers Polkus,
Dudley's friend.
will be in the scene together.
I never thought they would put Piers Polkus in the series, but they went ahead and did it.
They will. Petunia appeared as a blonde with her hair. What did they call her? People discussed it a lot in the comments.
Carmen.
Karen, yeah.
Karen, there are some women from the United States who always cause trouble, you know?
You're being such a Karen.
They're always on the sidewalk yelling and causing drama.
I didn't know that reference.
It's a thing. It's like that. And then we have Walter. Walter, he's a bit thinner now.
Yeah, glasses, mustache.
Walter has an impressive Apollo-like mustache, and his costume looks great.
It's cool. From the 90s.
Right.
Very 90s.
They're preserving everything from the 90s, since those moments are set in 91.
It's set in that time, right?
And they're doing a great job. The costume designer is Holly Waddington. She won the last Oscar
Yes.
for Poor Things. So we're in very good hands.
The costumes in that movie are really cool.
She does, and she does. Look, I was researching her costumes, and it says she likes to tell the characters' stories through the costumes. And it shows...
That's really cool.
And the evolution too, right? If the character, I don't know, Dumbledore, will have this transition to lighter clothes. I don't know, to showing a possible that it's getting more complex, it's getting more tense, right?
And these intervals happen, right? Because we can get access to some external recordings that happen, right? They're recording in real environments and then something leaks out. The photographers stay there to sell the photos to the newspapers, right? It's always like that. The setup is always that they're there at the recording, take a picture, and then later high-quality photos come out.
Analyzing the details of the leak, man.
But man, this is really nice. I love this part.
To follow that one with Hagrid, with Harry out there on the street.
On the street, crossing.
Several details.
entering what's probably the leaky cauldron, right?
Are you excited about the new Leaky Cauldron?
I am.
I'm waiting for season 7. If Potter Observatory isn't included, I'll be upset since it was already cut from the movies.
Yeah, it has to be there. There has to be the Potter Observatory, that's right.
That's right.
Man, and then there's the Blue Maid Bar, right? Where the exterior will be the leaky cauldron, but the interior set will be built and filmed in a studio.
Yeah, me too.
There's also the scene where Harry crosses the street with Hagrid, and it's important to note the stunt double was visible, right?
Yes, a body double. It's Marty, isn't it?
No, Marty Mayfield is from the movies.
It's something William.
I don't know what William.
It is.
No, it's William.
Okay.
His name is William.
He is regarded as the United Kingdom's tallest police officer.
Tallest in the United Kingdom.
They chose well.
They chose well. The guy is 2 meters and
20, I think.
about 2 meters 20.
Man, that's really tall.
It's really tall. It's really tall. And he does the body double for Hagrid, and that caused some confusion.
And Nick Frost is short, man. Nick Frost is about 5'7".
He's really short, man.
I saw a picture of him.
When he wears it, he looks like a Lord of the Rings dwarf, right?
It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
Like that, and it's cool.
The Hobbit?
The Hobbit, a half Hobbit. It's great to see more behind-the-scenes details since many people didn't know Hagrid was played by a body double and get caught up in that. A stunt double for dangerous scenes? No. Sometimes a double for a scene that needed to be shot in another take.
They said you need a double just to cross the street on my video.
Look at Tom Cruise hanging onto the airplane.
Calm down. Take it easy right now.
That's a body double, right?
It's amazing how detailed Harry Potter fans are. There were 2 little black spots on the...
They put a mole on Hagrid's face.
Hagrid has 2 moles. The stunt double needs to see behind the mask.
And people even thought it was the track from
From the effects.
computer-generated imagery, but it wasn't the track, just to observe.
And then you use this regular mask. Robin Coltrane used it too. You need it for the long takes from far away from a long distance, right?
Wide shot, right?
And usually, when Hagrid speaks, there will be a shot of Nick Frost. It's just like...
Exactly.
Guys, if you rewatch Harry Potter, every time Hagrid speaks, it's a close-up shot of his face.
It's a close-up.
Man, it's bizarre.
And the camera shoots from below to make him look tall.
It's bizarre.
And it's really cool. There's a very interesting fun fact from the first movie. Like they built the sets where Hagrid appears twice in a smaller scale. So it looks like he's a giant inside while the other actors appear normal size. That's cool. And it'll probably happen in the series too.
Do you like leaks, or do they ruin your experience?
I love that they don't ruin it at all.
Does it ruin your experience? Because I think I like it. I don't think it gets in the way of the final product experience at all.
I respect people who don't like it, but I think it's a bit much to say, wow, it's leaking. The full series will be out soon. No way, man. These small pieces don't show what's really happening in the story.
They're constructing the whole Hogwarts inside Leavesden Studios sound stages. 5 or 6 of those 6 sound stages are used for the home box office series. Besides all the outdoor areas, filming scenes in the woods, the Forbidden Forest, and the school they built there for the children to study, which holds 600 kids.
Exactly.
So guys, it's like this. It's a world of its own there. They'll stay there for 10 years and do everything from scratch.
It's good to discuss this school issue since it created a buzz and the time is right. Let's talk a bit about the Harry Potter haters.
Okay.
It's become trendy to be a Harry Potter hater. And any news that comes out, people twist it, right? Saying, oh, they're going to make a school so kids can be exploited during filming.
I saw someone saying, wow, there's going to be a documentary in about 5 years about everything that happened inside that school. Man, that's disgusting. For God's sake.
That already happened in movies? The actors in the movies, they already studied on set. Why? They had a school environment. Why? Labor laws are very strict. They can only film for a very short time.
I think it's 6 hours, or maybe 4 to 6 hours.
If it exceeds 18 hours, filming can't continue. They have makeup time, they have lunch time, so actual filming time, they get 4 or 5 hours at most, so they optimize. Imagine the actor having to leave, go to school, and come back. There's nothing special about that. Nothing special.
Man, kids their age there, and I think nowadays...
It's nice to see their concern since they could just ask, oh, what school is it instead?
I think today, the actor from the home box office television series Agora already has more awareness of reality. They know what fame is. They know what social media is.
Exactly.
Back then, during the movie days, they didn't have social media, man. Now they know, look, if I expose myself in a certain way, they'll record me and it'll be on the internet the next day at the same time.
Exactly.
So it's an environment, it has to be controlled, and they have to keep the kids in a controlled environment where they have privacy.
Safe, healthy.
That has privacy, exactly.
Exactly. I don't see why having a healthy environment is a problem.
Or would you prefer a student at school film and leak a video of the actor there? I don't know. I think they have to be aware of how big they are now.
Exactly, man. This is a concern for the kids. I don't understand why this causes this, you know? Anyway, but let's put the haters aside and talk about really good things, which is our intention.
And now one of the coolest moments lately was the recording at King's Cross, man, and the announcement of the Wizards.
Before the King's Cross recording, the setting was what I wanted to discuss. Let's revisit the scene where they crossed the street. They filled the street with cars from the 80s and 90s for a scene of the guys crossing the street.
Man, they closed. It's no small feat. You shut down a London street for 4 hours, fill it only with 90s cars and a 90s bus and extras dressed for the era.
And man, the care these guys are taking is just what makes me believe in it are the details.
See how picky people can be? Someone commented on my video. Globo and Project do that too. I said, all right, guys, let me be happy.
Look, but these guys say it to put it down. Globo's structure is so impressive that people from abroad come to study and learn how they make soap operas. It's not a flaw. It's not a flaw. People say it trying to put it down because it's Brazilian, you know, but it's not a flaw.
No, but then there are all the details, like you said.
Exactly, it's the details. What really makes me believe in it is the setting, and the art direction is killing it. They put up a Nirvana tour poster from 1991 in the post. Man, that was cool. Next to the leaky cauldron, there's a bookstore like in the book. Exactly. So like it's a detail that when you're watching the series, man, you don't even care. You won't even notice. But the more attentive eye, the one that hunts for details, will see it. Look, there's a poster over there promoting Nirvana's 1991 tour, which was going to happen in the United Kingdom, which was exactly...
These references, right? They could have added some 90s songs at the start too, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
On the radio, I don't know. Yeah, listening to a radio, I don't know.
It goes to Dorsey often, which they dislike, so things get off track.
Yeah, they like...
Maybe a commercial on television, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, no, but Duda, as a teenager, young...
Yeah, he's dressed all in 90s style there in the zoo scene. The details are really cool with lots of 90s references.
Yeah, that's right. And then later they revealed more actors because we've noticed this trend. If there's going to be an outdoor scene where leaks might happen, they reveal the actor who's going to be in the scene. It happened with Weasley.
Man, what a cool announcement, right? I didn't expect it to be a selfie.
Me neither.
I thought it was going to be a regular photo, you know, like a grid.
But it was so brilliant. That was such a family thing.
They look like brothers, man.
They do, man.
No, then I saw one and wondered if they were twins or just actors who met at the audition. It's really good.
That joke never gets old. It's really good. I think, man, can you believe it? People even asked me if it's true. Like, they met during the recording. I said...
It's a fan meme and an inside joke.
I said, no, it's like this. They're really siblings. Oh, so is it fake news? No, it's really a joke. No, it's a joke. It's just a joke, you know?
I'm serious. They really met at the auditions, James and Oliver. No, but come on. And the selfie? First, they look like brothers. Second, you know who Percy Weasley is just by looking at the picture. Because, man, you can see the guy has that I'm the head prefect look on his face.
Pompous, right?
Wow, man.
Very cool.
And Roni, very charismatic. Gina's actress is awesome, man. Wow. I feel a little sorry for Bonnie Wright, but to be honest, not that much.
Poor thing.
No, I don't, because I think the script hurt her and she also hurt herself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I won't get into...
If I say it about actors and actresses like from the Harry Potter movie that I don't think they are overrated, people will want to beat me up.
Daniel Radcliffe himself is one... No, wait, I'm starting to... But I'm...
You stirred things up. You stirred up a hornet's nest.
Sorry, I'm coming into a really...
So now that there's a series, you're going to look down on the movies.
That's not it. I can say it. I think it's part of our... Many fans agree with me. Daniel is great as Harry Potter, but in some movies he seems a bit disconnected. Half-Blood Prince is one of them for me.
Man, it's like this. I think being a fan means having a realistic view of things.
And you can like... And guys, it's not that I hate Daniel Radcliffe. Guys, we spent our lives, the last 10 years... We like him in the Felix Felicis scene in Half-Blood Prince. He's great after taking the liquid luck.
I don't like that scene.
Damn, really? Come on, man, what's that?
I don't like that scene.
Okay, but I think he's really genuine.
Not because of Daniel Radcliffe, but because of the scene.
So I think like this, here's the thing. I think there are some movies where he's more disconnected, where he was tired. Man, there are reports that he showed up drunk on set. That's real, you know? Because he was going through some serious problems outside of work.
That's the reason why they want to protect those kids so much. Because we have several examples of troubled kids acting back in the 80s, which is something that it's the kind of care you need to have. Because they're exposed to an environment. It's that thing, like I'm powerful, I'm famous, I have money, there's nothing I can't do. That's why you must protect and guide these kids.
And have very present parents there who are careful and don't keep exposing the child. No social media. They're not supposed to have social media. Sorry, they're not. And if they do, it should be monitored by the parents until they're 18, man.
Exactly.
It must be written there and monitored by parents.
Yeah, anyway, then, well, the Weasleys left, right? Going back there, poor thing, it fell to Bonnie that she has, in Prisoner of Azkaban, she has one line, the fat lady, she's gone. That's it.
Good luck. Oh, not even in Chamber of Secrets. She has many scenes. I was noticing that.
Mom, where's my...
Mom, have you seen my pullover? No, man. Mom, has Harry Potter arrived yet? No, as a riddle. Wow. Then I realized the script doesn't...
Can I tie your shoes?
Oh, for God's sake. I hate this scene.
Yeah, man, so...
Sometimes neither the script nor other help works.
The series has potential. I think the movies made bad choices with some characters. Gina, for example, was just bland.
Dobby, who was meant to be in more movies, only appeared just to die. They only remembered him when he had to die. That's kind of sad.
Even after gaining freedom, he dressed like an enslaved elf.
And the other one was Dobby with... Alright, but there was the recording at King's Cross.
The recording at King's Cross.
And the selfie, I thought the selfie was great, really cool.
Can we talk about something? They closed King's Cross. Do you realize that's one of the busiest stations there? And they closed it to film?
No, there was stuff like a wall in front of the station, so you couldn't even see what was going on, man. I don't even know how they managed to get those pictures, but it's like you said, they release photos of the actors. We already expect some leaks over the weekend.
Exactly. Plus, the King's Cross leak was cool. I liked seeing Mrs. Weasley's costume.
Man,
Ron's costume with the Chudley Cannon shirt already shows, man. It's putting the character's personality into his clothes.
Man, and Ron is super passionate about Quidditch. His room is literally decorated only with Chudley Cannon stuff. All orange Chudley Cannons. He's a big Quidditch and sports fan, so playing Quidditch is even cooler for him.
Exactly.
For Gryffindor, you know, he sees himself playing Quidditch in the mirror. It's his deepest desire, man.
And because of his insecurity, he didn't do it.
Man, it's
a lot. I want to see that progress.
And you know what's cool? Harry is already going as a seeker, so he can already start to show it. Because, of course, there's Ron's jealousy and all that. I think it's cool to see that character development until he gets his moment. Weasley is our king. Weasley. Man, there's nothing better than that.
Yeah, it's already cool to see that in the costume, right? There's the Chudley Cannon shirt. They already discussed it on the Express during their first conversation when Ron asked, "What's your Quidditch team?" And Harry's like, "Man, I don't know." And then Ron starts explaining everything to him. So you can already see that in the character. It's really cool.
I read something about the characterization of Mrs. Weasley, Fred, and George. I read something that it's not just... Some people may have liked, for instance, how Mrs. Weasley or Fred and George were characterized. But I saw that wizards, it's not that they know how to dress like muggles, you know? They try to imitate what muggles wear, you know? Like Mrs. Weasley's patchwork jacket, for example. What does Mrs. Weasley know about muggle clothing? What do they know? Does Mr. Weasley know sometimes? They like this or that.
Exactly.
You know, like...
And then they always dress... And I really liked how Fred and Jorge were characterized, for example, by not dressing in identical clothes. Because it also brings out their personality, right? Although they're always seen as one, Fred and Jorge are inseparable.
You can tell which one is which.
It's cool to be able to tell which one is which. And it's cool to show their own personalities, you know, individually. Even though they're a pair, it's nice to show their individual personalities, right? We have Fred, and Fred is more outgoing than Jorge, right? Fred, he's more of a leader than Jorge. And Jorge complements that, you know? It's cool to have that in the series. It's really cool.
Both are Quidditch team beaters, so it'll be cool to see them complement each other, but at the same time,
being unique.
That's it, exactly. And man, Gina's characterization, also with her little jumpsuit, all orange, the shirt,
Made of
a little crochet,
crochet.
Labubu in the backpack.
La boo boo, la boo boo. La boo boo. It's like this. I don't know if this is a predisposition to want to criticize.
I think it's not thinking.
It's a predisposition to want to criticize, man. People are like, how come La Boo Boo is on the backpack if the series is from the 90s?
She never stops to think, let me breathe.
Could it be the actress's backpack?
The actresses? Since she's also drinking water from a shiny cup?
Exactly, like a shiny cup you see at discount stores, right?
But no, she prefers it, you know?
Yeah, I think people...
This tendency to complain.
But you know what that is? That comes from... I'm going to get philosophical. That comes from the immediacy that social media brought to our new generation here.
I got philosophical.
True, man.
But it's true, I agree.
Today, everything is very immediate. If you we buy something and it has same-day delivery. A product, I'm not talking about food delivery.
We're getting more and more anxious.
We're increasingly anxious and spoiled, always wanting things like same-day delivery. If I buy it now, will it arrive today?
I'm going to buy it, right?
And then you get it's this immediacy. We want things right away. That's what happens. You see something and immediately start criticizing without thinking.
Come on, man.
You get it? So don't think that the Labubu in the backpack belongs to the actress's backpack. Don't think that the cup...
If the series releases, Labubu will appear. They're going to use this clip and say they're wrong. It was a mistake, like the Game of Thrones Starbucks cup.
No, it's not that it can't happen. Every production has mistakes. Every production. It's inevitable, right? But the King's Cross scene was cool, and Percy wasn't there.
Yeah, even Harry didn't show. He appeared from behind, so you can't tell if it's really him. That little boy could have been a stand-in.
It could have been a stand-in.
But you could see Harry's costume, how it's going to be. Harry is always carrying a little backpack, right?
Always with a little backpack.
Yeah, his look in this series is him with a little backpack.
And then he showed up, Ron, from behind there, but a subscriber who lives or was living there or was there, he saw Dominic McLaughlin in a car, like he left through another exit and all.
Oh, by car? I thought he was arriving with the Dursleys.
No. He was leaving to go to the recording.
In the books, the Dursleys drive Harry and drop him off in front.
They even mock him saying, wait, where's the platform?
Yeah, go look for it then.
They go look for it and start laughing.
Would be cool if that was in the show.
I hope it does.
Yeah, I hope so.
So, I mean, he was there, right? Dominic, but
People said Percy as a prefect might have gone in earlier.
he might have gone in earlier.
Organizing the students over there.
Yeah, he recorded it in a different take.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Like him coming in first and...
Man, they were there for 5 hours. Obviously, Dominic was there, Percy. They just didn't show up in the picture.
Exactly. And then I think that was the last filming leak, right? That we had...
Yeah, it was. And then we had other types of announcements, right?
There was the most recent one was the cast now of...
Crab, Goyle, Binns, the Professor,
Professor Binns.
Pomona Sprout, another clue.
Exactly.
Because it would make much more sense to put Sprout in a time when there are mandrakes which they will need for the petrified students. That's
In the book, right?
But let's develop her. Should we show the students in a herbology class or do something different?
They start their second year already having it, but it seems like it's their first time in herbology.
I want to learn by watching this series. Like the students, I wish I could attend a class and spend a few minutes observing their routine.
A school environment is important and cool to have.
And it catches kids' attention too. It's for the new generation too, right?
You need to have a school environment.
And those were announced. Professor Binns, I think he's wonderful.
History of Magic teacher, right? He wasn't in the movies.
His classes are incredibly monotonous.
Ghost Professor, I can't wait to see that. It'll be cool.
There should be more announcements now about the ghosts of Hogwarts, about Peeves, right? About all those guys. And also other confirmations that we got.
We had Neville Longbottom, Dean Thomas. We didn't talk about Neville, right? Neville was confirmed.
Very cute, the little boy.
Yeah, he was confirmed.
He really looks like he was raised by his grandmother, right?
Raised by his grandmother. There was Neville. Now there's Dino, which is Elijah Ocean. Elijah Ocean is Dino. There was Crab.
And Warwick Davis's return.
Warwick Davis returns as Flitwick.
So, what did you think? What did you guys think? What did you guys think?
Yeah, guys, comment below if you like that Flitwick came back.
Home Box Office clearly stated no movie actors would appear in the series.
They made it clear that they would avoid it. That was the word. They would avoid actors from the movies in the series.
What did you think?
Man, I'll be honest, at the same time I thought it was cool. Because of the nostalgia, I didn't really like it.
Open the door for other things?
Besides opening the door for other things, when I talked about it in my episode announcing this, people were like, oh, but will there be characterization? It's not about the characterization. Of course, it will differ and you won't even recognize the person. What I didn't like is having the same actor from the movies. With Sir Cadogan, played by Paul Whitehouse,
A deleted scene.
he has a very minor role in a deleted scene, while Flitwick is more present. And it's not because of Warwick Davis. The guy is amazing, a really great actor, and I believe they wanted to give him this opportunity again. You know, regarding the character, so the character could be better developed there.
Okay, I will...
But the thing is, it's not that I didn't even like it. Wow, I didn't like it. It's like I liked it, but I wish it was something else. Simply because, in my mind, I had already decided it was going to be different.
Uh-huh.
That's the only reason it was chosen, so here we are. Welcome back and do a great job.
I think this series, I don't know if I'm talking nonsense, okay? But I think this series, it's actors who were always there at the events participating were grateful. Tom Felton himself has now gained a spot in Cursed Child, right? And also Warwick Davis, James Phelps, and Oliver Phelps got the cooking show. Evanna Lynch is also involved in many... There are several actors who, at some point, I think, didn't show up playing the role. Okay, but obviously that's not possible. But they were involved in some way there. A documentary. You know? So there's this thing about Warwick Davis. I personally liked it. I expect a different characterization from the two he had in the movies, right? I expect another one that...
Wow, it just can't be like the one from Prisoner of Azkaban, because that one is really ugly.
The one with the mustache? That's from then on, right?
Yeah, I don't like that characterization. I think they lost a lot by changing it.
He's like that in the second movie. He's just like in the first one.
In the first and second, he's...
Then it kept changing. I don't like that description either. And he's the head of Ravenclaw House. I think he'll be more important. They'll mention that more, right?
dueling champion, right? I just hope he's not as much comic relief as he is in the movies. I hope he stands out more as a teacher, as a powerful wizard. A major concern for fans is, will we have in this series everything that was cut from the movies?
What will your reaction be? Honestly, I'm going to ask you this. When the series cuts the first thing you wanted to see. Why does he even exist, man? Weren't they going to put everything in? No. But we're getting into a really complicated situation.
In a complex environment.
Isn't it complex? So are they going to cut that character again?
Look, I think they...
Now you guys have,
Things that can't be cut no matter what. There will be things that will... There's no way. Yeah, but things... Key things like, man, the potion challenge right there. In Philosopher's Stone. I really want to see Hermione shine.
Harry meets Draco at Madame Malkin's. You need that.
I want to see all the challenges from the stone.
The troll, which shows up down there.
The troll already knocked out, Yeah. I want to see those kinds of things, which are things that...
Harry returns to the Dursleys, shops in Diagon Alley, then goes back and stays with the Dursleys.
Going home, exactly. I like that idea. So, yeah, but...
Another thing, something the movies never showed, Harry's return to the Dursleys. The series doesn't necessarily have to end at Hogwarts.
Exactly.
Show him returning, the sadness. Like the last scene of the first season is him in his room without magic. Let me write the series.
Yeah, but let me tell you something like the series timeline. I'm fine with the first seasons because they're 8 hours. Right, Mark Mylod himself and Francesca Gardner said, we'll have 8 hours to...
Home Box Office gave us 8 hours to tell the story. What do you make of that? 8 one-hour episodes.
8 episodes of...
Not always. Some will be shorter, others longer.
Exactly. And then Adriano Goldman confirmed that. He gave a really cool interview to Forbes, full of great information. And he talks about the 8 episodes, right? There will be 8 episodes.
He'll handle cinematography for the first and last 2.
Yeah, and that's normal, okay, guys? In series, changing directors, having a different director for each episode, that's normal. In a single movie, there can be more than one. It can happen, but...
He said something really interesting, which is what? He's the main director of photography. He's the one who's going to edit. Adriano is the one who's going to edit. What will the cinematography be like in all the episodes, even with a new director of photography?
It's just going to follow what's already set, right?
The visual identity of the season.
Exactly. It's not chaotic like that. It's consistent, not different each time.
No, don't expect that. Yeah, not at all.
And I'm fine with that, Diego, having the 8 hours, having 8 episodes. And I even think it fits in Philosopher's Stone to create things not in the book or only found in meetings. Look at this. Look at this. See, if you don't want to hire me, send me over there right now.
I'll see.
We know
I don't want to.
a lot of people ask and look at the connection. I think the thing about connection, about connecting books through, like, with elements, we know, right? Spoiler for those who haven't read Harry Potter, that might be the case. This is a spoiler, okay? We know that in the 3rd book, Wormtail reveals himself, escapes, and goes after Voldemort so that Voldemort can return.
Okay, fair enough.
We know that this happens. When Voldemort returns in Goblet of Fire in the 4th book, Wormtail gives him his wand. Right, Voldemort's wand to him. And then we have a big question from many fans. Where did he get the wand? Where was the wand? How did he have Voldemort's wand if he was transformed into a rat all this time? This information already exists and is available. After the attack on the Potters, when Voldemort fell, Wormtail says that the rat went to Godric's Hollow to see what had happened. And Voldemort's wand is there in the rubble and he hides it. It's there on the ground and he hides it in the rubble.
Uh-huh.
Right? When he's about to escape, he hides it because premeditating because he knew that one day Voldemort could return. What does he do? When he escapes in Prisoner of Azkaban, he gets away in that context.
When he gives that rat wave and leaves.
That's right. When he leaves, he doesn't go straight to Voldemort. He can't show up empty-handed, so he goes to Godric's Hollow. He grabs the wand from the rubble where he hid it, since the house is basically a monument now. The room is destroyed. That's why Harry has the house vision in Deathly Hallows, right? He grabs the wand, and then he goes to Voldemort with the wand. Right, so he doesn't just show up with years of information, but also like, hey, I have your wand, you get it? What can the Philosopher's Stone do? Show Hagrid picking up Harry in the room.
In the crib?
In the crib at Godric's.
Do you think they can do that?
They definitely could, and we know it happens. We just don't see it.
Show Hagrid rescuing the baby?
Picking up baby Harry in the ruined house.
Seeing the parents there?
Yeah, right there.
Already getting a view of...
Look, Lillian's dead on the floor. Voldemort's wand is on the ground before Hagrid arrives. Lillian lies dead on the floor. Voldemort's wand nearby after his body was destroyed.
That's a lie.
Without Snape, this scene doesn't exist. The body wand on the ground.
Calm down, Snape. Excuse me.
Snape, give me a little space. Harry screams and cries in his crib, lightning bolt on his forehead.
All right.
And then in the scene, some rats are running away from the place because it's destroyed. The house was destroyed. Some rats are running away from the place. Like 3 or 4 rats.
That's really cool.
A rat stops at the wand and sniffs it. Voldemort's wand. That's it. That's all?
Okay, it would be a great reference for those who know.
Those who know. Those who don't get any spoilers.
Perfect.
Oh, Mark Millard, please.
You are hired?
Thank you, my friend. Did you understand? So, when he escapes in Prisoner of Azkaban, look at the connection. If that's not in the series, people are going to say, wow, it's not going to be there. Just look at the connection. Then in Prisoner of Azkaban, when he escapes, look how you can end the season. Instead of ending the season like it is in the book, show a scene. Like, let's say, a post-credits scene. Not really post-credits, but the final scene. The rat, Wormtail in rat form, grabbing the wand in Godric's Hollow and going into the forest to take... Did you get it, my friend?
It's brilliant, but I don't think it'll happen.
No, I don't think it'll happen either. But it's a possibility.
There's still time. I hope they see this idea.
Just a minute.
Yeah, right, Mark?
So, buddy, let me say, Marquinhos, put it on.
No, it won't work, but it would be really cool.
Audience.
And Hagrid talking about Sirius too. I think it has to show...
Sirius might even show up, my friend. Handing the motorcycle over to Hagrid, but without giving any context about who he is, without giving any context about who he...
He may be young and clean-shaven.
Exactly, well, you could say that. He goes there and talks to Hagrid, right? Give me Harry, and then Hagrid says, no, I'm on Dumbledore's mission. He says, take the motorcycle since I won't use it, then leaves.
I would be happier you can have this scene. I don't think we'll have an actor for Sirius, but they'll probably say I borrowed one from young Sirius. The Azkaban season won't arrive for another 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I think if they hire an actor already, but wouldn't it be amazing?
It would be amazing.
Like, it would be really amazing If I had the power to add something to the series, it would be that
Wow.
I'd say, man, include this. It's going to be a hit and amazing.
The idea is really good for real. Yeah, man, it's enough time for you to put in 8 episodes. Philosopher's Stone is 2 hours and 36 minutes. We're talking about 8 hours to adapt the same book.
Quirrell's background and meeting with Voldemort.
That's definitely included. The flashback at the start of the last episode, after the revelation,
His revelation, so I don't give a spoiler.
to tell how he...
The stuttering teacher, once bullied as a teenage Gagino, later became the Muggle studies teacher, a fact many people don't even know.
He was on vacation due to his sabbatical. Quirrell, always insecure, thought, damn, I'm going to be the guy who will... I don't think Voldemort died. I think I'm going to go there. I'm going to find him and I'm going to, man...
How did he bring him? Because Voldemort only goes to his head when he fails to rob Gringotts Bank. When he first meets Harry, he's not wearing a turban.
That's true.
Did you get it? So just like that, did he bring Voldemort without a form? How did that happen? How did that come about? How did he... Voldemort entering his head? Like, damn, that would be so awesome, man.
No, we ask questions like, what if Voldemort sneezes on the back of his head?
I farted.
No, I was going to say something, but it's better not to.
What?
With which butt does he fart? All right, 8 episodes. There's enough for... I don't know, I don't think it's going to happen, but Ronnie and Hermione getting the letter from Hogwarts?
It would be cool if a staff member visited Hermione.
It would be amazing.
Muggle-born, right?
Point of view. It's what we talked about regarding point of view. We know who Harry is, we know who Ron is, we know who Hermione is, but will they have the courage to do it from that perspective?
That would be really cool.
In Philosopher's Stone, there are rumors it might even include Nicolas Flamel and his wife.
Yeah, there's this rumor about the expansion, about showing why the stone left Flamel. It went to the vault. You get it? Like,
Really cool.
it would be really cool if it showed...
To further develop the Philosopher's Stone idea,
Exactly, show Nicholas and Perenelle, right? Dumbledore's conversation with him to protect the stone. Come on, there's time.
seriously.
And it's something that, like, when we talk about it, like, people might think, maybe they'll think, wow, but that's going to take a lot of time. That's 20, 30 seconds of a scene, guys.
Yeah, and another thing, they're building it, okay? There's a farm next to the Harry Potter set. If you search Leavesden Studios on Google Maps, there's a farm next to it where they're going to...
They're building it.
They're filming for 24 days and building a small house for an elderly couple.
For an elderly couple.
It could be Niccolo Flamel and his wife, possibly Hagrid's hut, a Quidditch stand,
Yes.
and a herbology greenhouse for filming over 24 days.
Yes, exactly. They are... So there are signs...
There are indications, strong ones.
Strong ones. That would be cool. And I think it has to be, of course, to stay true. The true proposal, true expansion. But there has to be something different from the book. There has to be something that doesn't exist in the book. And created there, of course, as long as it doesn't go against what's already established.
So don't get too excited.
Exactly. Not like Cursed Child with Voldemort's daughter, which is unrelated, you know? But you get it?
Do you think in the 7th season we'll see Voldemort flirting with Bellatrix? No, not to that extent, but it's the... We could also try to make the Cursed Child less bad.
Oh, no, I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not.
I hope not.
He's in a war, losing the Horcruxes, and then...
You can't. That doesn't make sense. It really doesn't.
Because she would be pregnant during the Battle of Hogwarts?
Yeah, because it would be cool. I even get it. Going into the Cursed Child. I actually like the whole thing with time loops, time paradoxes, that kind of stuff. I like messing with the timeline. I think it's really cool. But the whole context of Voldemort's daughter doesn't make any sense with the character, you know? So, like, that just didn't make sense to me.
By the way, it's good to ask people. I think you guys can already, including things we want to implement here in this podcast, the moment when you send things for us to read here, questions.
The Howler.
The Howler. The moment when you, because you see, guys, this is the first episode. And I'm really happy that it's the first episode to start this project here. It's the first episode. We're seeing what works and what doesn't. We're going to hear from you. We're going to hear your feedback. It's the moment for us to answer your questions, suggestions for topics. An episode dedicated just to the Cursed Child. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine?
So we're going to, but mainly to update you about the series. Guys, there's a lot for us to talk about. There's news coming out every 2 weeks. There's some cool news. The idea is to get together to
Exactly. And the idea...
to talk about all of this.
And the idea is this podcast, tablecast, videocast,
From wherever you're listening.
from wherever you're consuming, it's going to be weekly.
Yes, it is.
Our idea is to make it weekly. We don't know if after this first episode we'll already have another one next week, but the idea is to make it weekly.
Yes, we wanted to do this first so we wouldn't compile everything, since when we planned the project, the series had just started. All the news. So now that this project has happened, it exists. We're going to have time to talk a lot.
We've been meeting and talking for a while now, right, Diego?
The Sala Precisa was a project that, I always wanted to do a podcast. I told Kako, let's do a podcast. And
Then I said no, just kidding.
No. And guys, it's amazing to be able to do this first episode and hear from you. We're going to hear a lot from you.
When the show aired, my friends,
Wow.
get ready to see us often. Of course, we'll have episode coverage here, analysis of all released episodes.
Anything is possible. This is only the start.
The episode came out. The series came out. The episode came out.
Guys, this is just the start of a long journey we'll take together where we'll discuss everything. We're going to be your company for the next 10 years. We're going to talk. It's cool that when news breaks, you already think, I'll wait for the podcast.
I want to see what will be commented on.
And we're going to talk about it. It's going to be really cool. We'll follow along together as a way to pass the time, right?
Just chatting.
We'll do a special episode when the first trailer is released.
Exactly.
It's going to be really cool, guys.
That's exactly it.
And that's it.
We come with that intention. We're very happy and excited. That's the honest truth.
Thank you, everyone. Please send feedback and suggestions. Sala Precisa begins today. Here you'll find everything you need, just like the name says. We're honestly very happy.
So shall we establish a screaming moment?
Screaming moment.
That people send
Send your suggestion and remind me that the first episode of Sala Precisa airs on caldeiraofurado. The second episode will release on Observatorio Potter, the third on Caldeirão, the fourth on Observatorio, and so on. Until we have more than 100 episodes.
That's it, 1,000 episodes. Can you believe we made it to 1,000? To celebrate finishing 10 years of the series. Wow, huh?
No, guys, it's the beginning of a long journey that we're going to enjoy together.
I'm just going to say that there will be days when I'll call in sick and then Katarina will come and host in my place.
Perfect. I think we'll get to a point where actually, no.
That's right.
And that's it, guys. Thank you for the opportunity, right? For sure. This project means a lot to us. We hope you enjoy it.
We also want to thank the hosts of the house here.
Michel, please.
Michelzão, come here, Michel. Michel, who...
It's so good to have you here in our home.
Michel, who...
Guys, we're in this beautiful studio here. We're in this beautiful studio here.
A great supporter here.
And we set up the set yesterday and we're...
Yeah, great Boo Boo. Boo Boo is over there. Hey, Boo Boo. Boo Boo. Boo Boo is back there behind the cameras. But we set this up, Boo Boo set it up. We just gave some input, right?
That's it. The guy knows how to solve things.
We're in this space here thanks to Michelle, thanks to the whole team here. Honestly, man, it's an incredible opportunity for us to be able to develop this. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. So,
For sure, it really wouldn't be.
thank you very much.
Guys, thank you. Thanks, all right?
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be really good.
And the room needs it, guys. Sadly, we're finishing the first episode.
To wrap up this first episode, we want to do something here, a tradition.
Oh, that's right. A tradition.
A tradition we want to keep. So how will the shouter work? Do we pick a comment or does someone send it by email or live pics?
I think via live pics.
If you want to support this project,
That would already be good.
we're launching. Here's the live pics to send for the next episode.
There will be a QR code. Here's the thing. Then you'll be able to send your message through the QR code.
Any symbolic amount for us.
Any symbolic amount of...
The house rent.
Yeah, even a symbolic amount like 750 reais is great. I'm just kidding, guys.
Anyway, you send your howler and then we...
Tune in to the next episode. In the second Sala Precisa podcast, we'll already have a howler moment and answer some of your questions. Cool, I like it. And how is the tradition going to be? Are you going to read it or am I?
Our tradition.
In this first one?
Can I read here and at the observatory? Can you read too?
Perfect.
The host.
Then play a little song just to tradition. At the end of every episode, A will read an important paragraph from the series books.
It's a paragraph of our choice that fits the moment.
We want to play a game later, not in this episode, but in future ones, to have a challenge between me and Kako.
Yes, we have many things we want to do here.
Let's hear from you guys too, yeah?
What's going to happen? All right, so leave it. I've already chosen here. I already came with the sentence with the paragraph in mind, the last paragraph of the first chapter of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which goes like this. A breeze ruffled the neat hedges of Privet Drive, silent and still under the inky sky, the last place in the world anyone would expect astonishing things to happen. Harry Potter turned over in his blankets without waking up. His little hand clutched the letter beside him, but he kept on sleeping. Without knowing he was special, without knowing he was famous, without knowing he would wake up in a few hours to Mrs. Dursley's scream as she opened the front door to put the milk bottles outside, nor that he would spend the next few weeks getting pinched and poked by his cousin Dudley. He couldn't know that at that very moment there were people gathering in secret all over the country, raising their glasses and saying in hushed voices, "To Harry Potter, the boy who lived." What's that, huh? I've got goosebumps, my friend. I think that was the best line to sum up this first episode.
Guys, a hug to everyone. Share the project. Show it to all the fans. Thank you so much once again to Michelle and the whole team. Thanks, Sala Precisa was born, and let's go together on this next journey. Let's go, guys.
It's a bit far to greet.
No. But that's it, guys. Thank you once again. Like, share, and subscribe to follow each episode of Sala Precisa.
And follow us on all the social networks too, right? Because that's the thing. The news is faster on social media.
I'll gather news highlights for the podcast and select one for a special episode.
We'll be on audio platforms too, right?
Yes, audio platforms let you listen anywhere, and also here on YouTube channels.
Thanks, Diego.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. See you in the next episode of Sala Precisa. Make yourselves at home or not in the sala.
Or rather, in the Sala Precisa.